with how Catalyst prepares students and the support and the training. I would just like to understand a couple of things from your end.
Right.
Firstly, you are in your bachelor's in English, right? Right now?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay. And you have already appeared for the TISNET this year,
Yes, sir, I did.
right? That means from my end, I would understand the entire familiarity of the exam need not be highlighted so much because you appeared for the test. And since you had globalization and labor, did you also appear for the TISMAT for that?
No, sir. TISMAT is only for HRM,
Right,
so I
sorry.
did not
Yeah.
require this.
Okay, yeah. I mean, your subject combination did not feature HRM. It just had
No, sir.
globalization. Okay,
Right, right.
great. Okay. So, uh, Srijani, first, make me understand that what is the reason why you want to study globalization and labor and your
Sir,
regular.
actually, I wanted to shift to sociology honors for my
Okay.
undergrads only.
Okay.
But since that was not possible because my decision to shift my course was pretty late,
Right.
I decided to shift for my masters.
Okay.
And to be honest, if I take up core sociology as my master's, that doesn't really leave me with a lot of job options after I graduate with the
Okay.
degree. I
Okay.
mean, apart from getting a PhD and all. And since this is the best so far in social sciences, I did not want to take up HRM because, I mean, if I had to do that, I could have done an MBA, right?
Right.
In
Right.
HR. It's
Right.
kind of the equivalent course.
Hmm.
I this year I applied for global labor because I took it as a practice test just to
Right.
see what really happens.
Okay.
But originally my plan was to appear for global labor and regulatory governance
Okay.
because before I appeared, I selected my courses and know much about the regulatory governance course, and I thought it's mostly for people studying pol science honors, both regulatory governance and public policy. I mean, I had the idea it's only for people with pol science honors, but then I spoke to some of my friends already studying, and they said no, that's not really a requirement.
Not at all.
But
Absolutely.
then again, I'm confused regarding one thing that if at this point public policy should be a better option in terms of
Okay.
job opportunities
Okay.
than global labor.
Fine. So I think let's take it very step by step. Uh, my first question to you would be that uh, pardon me for asking you a lot of questions because that is how we get to understand your plan also better. Uh, so Srijani,
Yes.
uh, my question remains that like what made you choose globalization and labor? Who told you to take that? Like did your
Uh,
friends tell you? Like what was the understanding?
no, I uh, I heard about this regarding the HRM course, and while
Hmm.
looking to their website, I came
Yeah.
across this option. And
Okay.
then when I looked into it, according to my understanding so far, the
Right.
course will deal with labor welfare.
Yes.
Um, so that seemed pretty interesting to me, and also a way to which not only it helps my career, but I can give back.
Right. Of
So
course. Of course. Because see, if labor welfare is your interest zone, I'm trying to understand that if labor welfare is your interest zone, then globalization and labor, human resource management, labor security studies that's offered by TIS Guwahati campus. These are very strong options. Okay.
okay,
Okay. But now, see again, let's not look at a course just on the basis of, say, the face value or the syllabus of it. also try to understand the prospects of a program. So I'll help you understand a couple of things, Srijoni. What was your score in the TISNET? 53. That's what Neha told me.
53, yes, sir.
53. Okay. So 53 as a score in the TISNET, say in the context of this year, would have enabled you to clear programs in social work. Okay. 53 as a course would have enabled you to clear programs in women's studies. 53 as a course would have enabled you to clear a program like Peace and Conflict Studies from TIS Guwahati. Okay. So what I want you to understand is, if your focus is on labor as a whole, as of now, and I am yet to understand why your focus is, like how you develop that interest. I'm trying to understand that.
I'm not completely focused on labor because, as I said, I'm thinking about public policy also.
Right.
But
Right.
since that was my first choice, I did my
Absolutely.
practice test on that.
Absolutely. I completely understand. Now, when it comes to the TIS programs, let me also highlight this to you. There are certain programs, including in Masters in Social Work, with specialization like children and family, specialization like community organization and development practice, CODP as we call it. And they are extremely prospective. Okay. CODP this year had a cutoff of 56. Children and family had a cutoff of 52. Okay. Now, the point is that I am not, trying to influence you with a specific course, but what I'm trying to make you understand is that 53 is a very good score for TISNET, provided you choose your courses a little smartly. TIS gives you 3 options, right, to choose the courses:
Yeah.
first,
Yeah,
second,
yeah,
and third. So first, globalization and labor, suppose your choice, if I go with this year. Second, say something connected to public policy or regulatory governance. And the third one, had you kept like a social work or similar program as a third choice? Because third choice is something
right.
that students usually take that as the last option,
As a backup.
as a backup,
Right.
yeah, as a backup. But I'm telling you again, Srijoni, even a third choice in a place like TIS is a
Yeah,
very good
I,
option.
I get it.
Yeah,
But I didn't think this year
yeah,
through.
yeah. No, I
I,
completely understand. So don't feel sad with anything that, did you miss out on this year? Not really. What I want you to understand is that this is a very good score that you have secured in your first attempt. And if you work harder next year with a more focused approach, you can score much, much higher. I'll give it,
yes, I understand. I think the quant section was my problem
right.
mostly.
So quantitative section is the problem for 95% of our students. Okay. So don't feel bad about that. 95% of our students at Catalyst are very similar to your background. So I'll give you an example. We had a student a couple of years back, Noyonika Datta. Noyonika pursued English, same course as yours, from Jadavpur University. Okay. First time she appeared for the TISNET, she got a score of 38, 38.
Okay.
When she appeared for the first time, all her choices were social work. Okay. Because she felt that even if she wanted to pursue something like a globalization and labor, or say human resource management, which might have enabled her to even get corporate jobs,
Right.
she felt that to achieve these scores she has to score very high in the quantitative part, and she was not very
Yeah.
confident about it. Okay. She scored a 38, and even with that score she could not clear any of her choices. So Nayonika joined Catalyst, and I will share Nayonika's YouTube video with you after today's session. That was a video that we had taken after the 2018 TISNET, right after Nayonika came out from the TCA's Gitovitan exam center. And that year, the second attempt, the year she was a student, Nayonika scored an 83. It's remarkable. The 38 reversed.
Reverse, yes, sir.
And believe me or not, Nayonika was at the start very low in confidence with her quantitative skills. So, she was literally, what she was doing is, she was memorizing GK a lot, day in, day out. GK, GK, GK. She was, of course, strong in English, no problems with that. In the 83 score, it was amazing. Like after she gave the exam and she spoke to us, and then, when we basically, what we do is, a lot of our students appear for the exam. So we collect the questions from their, memory-based remembrance, like so many institutions do. And based on which, we try to also create like a solution sheet to help students understand, how much they can score. Nayonika, out of a score of that time, the math section was of 40. 40. She actually scored over 90% in the math section, which propelled her score to 83. So I'm just helping you understand that your score this year is 53. I don't want you to be overconfident or complacent, but what I want you to believe is that next year when you appear for the exam, and suppose, internally you are thinking that, okay, do I give HRM a shot? I'm just helping you understand.
No, I am, but the whole TISMAT situation which comes with HRM is actually.
No, it's not. It's not. So that's what, I'll help you understand how we support that. So what I'm going to do right now, Srijani, is I'll just kind of share my screen with you, and just take you through couple of our past students and the type of work that they're doing right now, the type of backgrounds they're from, just to give you a brief understanding. And then of course I will show you our training material, how we go about. And of course right now I was telling your mother that we are full-fledgedly training students online. So right now, as you're seeing a class, we have these full-fledged classrooms set up online. And we don't do that through Zoom. We do that, Srijoni, through what we call Zoho e-learning platform. So it's a very simple thing. Again, there is an app connected to it that you can download on your phone or a laptop, and you can start accessing the lessons. Okay. But we come to that later. I'll just share with you my screen so that, maybe you are. Yeah. So I'll just help you with a little PPT connected to our training and featuring some of our past students, the type of work that they're doing, the type of opportunities that they have. Srijani, feel free to ask me any questions, any queries that you have. Don't have to be hesitant about that, whether you're interrupting me or not. Right. So I'll just start off with one of our past students, Joshita Nag. Joshita is right now working, if you can see the screen, as a social worker with UNICEF. And she pursued her master's in children and family from TIS Mumbai. Prior to that, she was a political science student with Jadavpur University. Now, very interesting, let me also tell you Joshita's backstory. Joshita, since she was from political science background, she enrolled into Catalyst, and she expressed a great desire to study at the London School of Economics and Political Science. Okay, at the start,
Yes.
she started training with us. Now, this was one aspect that I was telling your mother yesterday, that when you are being trained by us, Srijoni, you will be extensively supported with a lot of project experience.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I did not ask you whether you have had any relevant project experience connected to social science or not, but even if you don't have it, in the Catalyst training, we will support you with that. So the fieldwork experience could be like, a lot of things connected to content development, creation around social science research.
Yes, sir.
So maybe, if you are interested in labor studies, we can give you, some studies based on the future of work, which is being predicted under the global pandemic. So you go through a lot of International Labor Organization papers. We will help you how you study them. We will help you how you collate information from that, and you create a report based on it. And I will show you some of our past students' work, how they have done that. So Joshita is now with UNICEF Bihar. And very recently, Joshita actually shifted from Bihar to Orissa. And now she is in Bhubaneswar, working in the child care services. Okay, so she works basically with UNICEF's child care programs, which can include ICDS, as you know, and integrated child development services. So Joshita is a professional social worker with them. Moving ahead, the next student that I want to highlight to you is Brishti Datta. If you can see her on screen, Brishti is a program manager with Godrej CSR. Corporate social responsibility, or CSR, Srijoni, is again an extremely lucrative field now. And every stream of TIS gets recruitments from corporate social responsibility sectors. So Brishti's essential job is to train women to become what they call beautypreneurs. So Godrej has this facility where rural women are trained with skills through which they can get recruited by the salon and the beauty industry. They get job opportunities. So Brishti works as a program manager with them. Moving further ahead, Piuli Basu. Piuli is still, she's a fresh student. She's just started off with her Masters in Women's Studies from TIS Hyderabad. And Piuli's background is in sociology. And she is now in her second year. And Piuli really wants to work a lot on the livelihood opportunities connected to women and creating safer spaces. So like, Piuli's focus is on the aspect of how to minimize sexual harassment at workplace. She is very critical about, conducive environment for work for women. She's very critical about issues of patriarchy. And that is also the type of outcome which is fed by the Women's Studies program. Moving further ahead, Shivangi. Shivangi is now a political strategist with IPAC. You may have heard their name. You might have heard the name of Prashant Kishore. Prashant Kishore's company IPAC basically works for advising political parties. I'm sure your parents might have heard about them, or Prashant Kishore is a very strong popular name. He was instrumental in the entire public relations campaign that led to the present Modi government.
Yes, sir.
So Shivangi works as a political strategist with IPAC, and prior to that, she was working as a policy researcher with APCO, and she used to help a lot of corporates establish better relationships with the government. Okay, and she has a master's in international relations from the London School of Economics. Prior to that, she studied her political science bachelor's. Kavya, on the other hand, very interestingly, she is now working with this agency called HIPAMS, and I think you can see the full form of HIPAMS. It is Heritage Sensitive Intellectual Protection and Marketing Strategies. What is Kavya's job? Kavya works as a researcher that focuses on the Chhou dance community. So HIPAMS is basically a British India government partnership agency. Their office is in Prince Anwar Shah Road in South Kolkata, and they focus on cultural facets of the country. So I'll give an example. If the Chhou dance community, they are not promoted properly, then the newer generations of that community may not want to continue with the dance.
Right.
And that can lead to a cultural degeneration, okay, or a cultural loss. So HIPAMs and similar organizations, like even like, you know, places like Sangeet Kala Academy, which is there in India, Lalit Kala Academy, they are all also responsible to preserve and protect these art forms. So Kavya works in that zone with a master's in international development from Sciences Po Paris. I'm not sure, Srijoni, if you are also interested to apply abroad, but I can assure you that a lot of countries, including Europe, right now, of course, with the coronavirus outbreak, there is a lot of apprehension because everyone is finding India to be the safest, safer than the other countries in terms of the viral numbers. But a lot of countries in Europe, especially UK, France, Belgium, Netherlands, University of Tilburg, University of Erasmus, they are giving very good scholarships to students. You have to ensure that you get a good TOEFL or an IELTS score, and you can have a wide range of courses very similar to what even TIS offers. We'll come to the foreign applications separately, but I just wanted you to also have a knowledge about it. Srinanda, on the other hand, she is right now pursuing her master's in film, television, radio production after doing her sociology. Now, this is a very interesting thing I want to discuss about Srinanda. Srinanda had tremendous pressure from her family to pursue sociology at JNU after Jadavpur University. Okay. All her friends were applying. She had tremendous pressure to pursue a master's in TIS. But her knack and knowledge was more around, you know, things like vlogging. So she's still a video blogger.
I think I've seen her vlogs.
I am sure you must have seen her vlogs, okay? So we encouraged Srinanda, we literally fought with her parents. I mean, I still have clear memories where they actually accused us that, you know, we are brainwashing her.
Okay.
But, you know, that is where you know that some challenges have to be taken front on. Because see, Srijoni, neither you, neither your parents or family will be studying the program. You are supposed to study it, right? You have to do well in the exams. You have to do well in the semester exams. You have to do well in the placements, right? At the most, we can be there for a support. Okay. So if your interest is not fed properly, it's not going to be easy for you. Okay. Like, you know, you might get into a good institution where everyone goes and you feel very happy about it, that, okay, my father is very happy, my mother is very happy, my friends are very happy, my faculties are very happy. But if internally you are not entirely satisfied, in this day and age, it is very difficult. I'm sure you know that. You know, that is the reason. Yes. Noyonika, that is, there she goes. Noyonika is doing her human resource management, and she is actually extremely focused on working towards mental health at workplace.
Okay.
So, you know, at the interview at TIS, when Noyonika appeared, and she told them that, you know, she wants to focus on mental health, the TIS faculties asked her that, why don't you appear for psychology or why don't you, appear for a master's in public health? To which Nayanika told them that since mental health is not yet in our main list, it's not our priority yet, people are still very conscious, very, skeptical and apprehensive about the entire concept of mental health.
Yes, sir.
Like it is slowly gaining momentum in the urban context. In rural India, though, no one knows that there is something called mental health.
Exactly.
So she said that she wants to pitch for mental health at a corporate level, because you see corporates, you see them visible. You are watching news, you see an ad of a corporate in between.
Yeah.
So she said that, she will be working towards pitching mental health at the forefront. That is why she wants to work. So that is how, she made it to TISS. And of course, I told you her story. Shomaponna, on the other hand, she is working with, let me help you understand. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. She's working with Teach for India right now. Prior to that, Shomaponna actually worked with this very interesting agency called Sathi. And Sathi, basically, as you can see, Srijoni, they focus on providing job opportunities to HIV survivors, especially women. HIV survivors are still deeply stigmatized in our society.
Yes.
You see that people are already stigmatizing corona virus infected people.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, we stigmatize literally everything under the sun. And that is also where social science trains you with the tools to help people understand and create more equitable access. So that is where we are, Srijoni. It is just not about money, but the meaning that you bring to your work. So when you say that I am keen towards a specific course, in Catalyst, what we try to make you understand is how pursuing that program, you can do something meaningful. Because when you do something meaningful, the other M follows. The other M is money. When you create wider impact, you automatically grow and accelerate up the ladder. And of course, that is where you are also choosing a lot of meaningful courses. I'm sure you are aware of some of these programs. You will see globalization and labor also featuring there. You will see labor studies featuring there, rural regulatory governance featuring there. So that is the exact sort of a spectrum in which the modern world requires more and more professionals. Okay. Top colleges of social sciences. Of course, the list tops with this. This is an indicative list, Srijoni. It is not like per ranking, but this is right on the top because of its sheer expansion of programs. I'll share a very personal understanding with you. In 2011, and I was telling this to your mother also, in 2011, when I started Catalyst, TISS used to offer exactly 11 programs, 11.
Okay.
Now TISS offers 53 programs. So in a span of 9 years, if the programs have increased by 5 times, you can well understand that there must be growing demand.
Yes,
right?
yes, sir.
And of course, like last year, we had a very promising number of selections also in Catalyst from our end across the different colleges, TISS, TERI, APU, be it IIT. IIT offers an excellent program on development studies, on society and culture that's offered by
Cultural studies.
Cultural Studies, Society and Culture by Gandhinagar. We have a lot of students doing exceedingly well from Gandhinagar. Even like the development studies program, Srijoni from IIT Guwahati is also very good.
Okay.
Right. Top colleges abroad, of course, like the popular names. Along with that, a lot of other places also. Many students over the years from Catalyst have got almost close to 100% scholarships, because that is a genuine factor for Indians, because the courses are quite expensive. But
Exactly.
yeah, you can get through a lot of fellowships, you can get through a lot of scholarship programs that enable you to get into the courses. Coming to a very important slide, this is like a chart, as you can see, based on the national ranking framework report across the institutes like TIS, TERI, APU, IIT, and LSIU. By the way, APU is Azim Premji University, NLSIU
Yes,
is
sir.
National Law School, India University, Bangalore. Again, an
Yes.
excellent place for masters in public policy.
Yes, sir.
Very, very good. I mean, we have again some very, very good students, and in terms of the type of jobs they're doing, the type of research that they are also doing. When it comes to your starting salary, Srijoni, this is the chart that you should be referring to. From programs or opportunities which are connected to social work, usually on an average from places like TIS or APU or NLSIU, you start off at an average package of 4.5 to 5 lakh rupees per annum.
Okay.
Now, depending on the type of sectors you're working in, the salary varies, of course. If you are working with CSR, of course, as you can see, the salary is much higher to start off with. Like our student Brishti, she started off at a salary of 65,000 rupees per month with Godrej. Of course, with courses connected to public policy, it is also fairly good. Human resource management, of course, it starts off from a pretty high level, but you have to also understand human resource management is also an expensive program.
Right.
In TIS, a social work course costs you 2.5 lakh rupees. A public policy or regulatory governance costs you 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees. A human resource management costs you 7.5 to 8 lakh rupees, inclusive of accommodation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, but the good thing about these colleges are, every college in terms of placement gives you a very good return on investment, what we call ROI. Like you can't spend a lot of money and then end up with very, very low salary. That's also a problem.
Yes. Yes.
So this is an important thing that you have to keep in mind. The other very important thing that I want to show you, Srijoni, is CSR. You see, this is the chart till last year, the way companies, top 100 companies have invested in CSR. And if you see, this is also a snippet from Times of India on the right hand side. A person with 3 to 4 years in CSR in India right now earns anywhere between 18 to 25 lakh rupees per annum. With a 7 or 8 years of experience, you earn 50 to 60 lakh rupees per annum. And this is exactly the type of salaries you would actually find with people who have an MBA background.
Yes, sir.
So never feel, what I want you to understand, that since you are taking up social science, you will be left with a low salary. That's not true anymore. In India, very few people have this understanding, because very few people take up social sciences, or very
Yes, sir.
few people are aware of social sciences.
Right.
It is everywhere. It is either engineering or medicine or MBA, even now.
Yes, sir.
Right. But I can show you statistics where so many people from MBA or engineering or even medicine are shifting to social sciences.
Yes, sir.
Like in this year, in our batch, we have 11 students. Out of them, 8 of them are MBBS, and 3 of them are BDS, that is Bachelor in Dentistry.
Okay.
They are all shifting, and some of them are also into practice, like they have registration, they are practitioners.
Okay. Okay.
From there, they're shifting to courses like Masters in Public Health, Social Epidemiology, Social Work, HRM, Public Policy. So there is always enough opportunity for you to focus on what you want to do well. Now the question arises, Srijoni, that how do you equip yourself? Very important. So this is what you can see on your screen, a snapshot of exactly how we prepare and support you in Catalyst. It looks a very long list. You feel that, okay, so much has to be done, but actually it has to be done because you will be tested from all ends. The TIST net that you had appeared this year tested you on your basic general knowledge, your basic analytical skills, your communication and verbal skills. Once you cross that, the second round of pre-interview test followed by personal interview. Pre-interview tests on your subjective application. So suppose you are appearing for a pre-interview test on globalization and labor. Okay. So they will give you a little case study, say from the Hindu newspaper. What is this case study? The case study is on unskilled manual labor. What is the case study about? You know, unskilled manual labor under Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, right? The case study is that unskilled manual labor, they are not getting their wages on time. It is getting delayed. And that is causing a widespread unrest, and they're not getting motivation enough to work because they get paid the lowest in the country. But even then, the wages are not reaching their bank accounts on time. It is getting delayed. And a case study is given to you. Now, what they do is they ask you questions like, list the type of social issues that is manifested or reflected from the above story. They ask you a question like, if you are in the position of a local administrator, like suppose you are a BDO or suppose you are working with an NGO, then what type of advocacy or campaign will you do to address the issue? Then they ask you, if imagine that you are one of the laborers and you are not getting your wages on time, then how will you address your grievance, or what steps will you take? So these are the type of tests that you have to get through across the courses and followed by the interview. Interview focuses, Srijoni, a lot on your field work. So on that note, just tell me, during your bachelor's in English, what has been your extracurriculars or your field level experience, if any? If you can share some of the...
Sir, I don't know if it counts, but I used to, I still do work for Adore India.
Of course, yeah. Adore India, like they have their, if I'm not mistaken, they have their office in Topshia.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
And it basically requires me, I'm a volunteer, so it basically requires me to choose one government school and visit there once every week. And apart from basic English, maths, I have to talk to them about their surroundings and things that are normally stigmatized.
Okay, nice. I think, of course, see, I'm telling you, every field experience counts, Srijoni, as long as you have been able to map it well. You should be able to map it well in terms of the field experience. So I'll just show you one of our projects that is running. I'm not sure if you have come across this earlier, but I'll just show this to you. During this lockdown, starting from March onwards, all of us were in such great levels of uncertainty. And we started thinking and contemplating what to do and how to go about. So I'll just show you this website, Srijoni. It is called India Fights Corona, and it is a social innovation think tank. And if you see, some of these students whom you saw in the previous slide, like Joshita and all, They are all part of this project. They are helping our present aspirants, including people who are gearing up for next year. Some of the students like you who appeared for this year could not make it properly, but wants to reappear. They are all part of this project, trying to build a template of sustainability. So I'll just help you understand how this works. So people are contributing stories, like they're publishing stories, they're writing articles that is getting published. It is getting promoted and circulated all across, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn, be it Instagram. It is garnering a lot of engagement. Till last week, Srijoni, if I had known you earlier, I would have definitely invited you for these events. We had this series of workshops. I'll just show you, led by so many of our past students for the present students. So we had like a session on film industries media reportage. We had a session on careers in social science in times of COVID-19. So all of these were part of the project. I hope you can see it.
Yes, sir.
So what we are doing is then we have students who are working on research. So I'll show you some of the research insights and ideas also. Like this is a research that our students did on migrant workers, about whom we have read so much, and they have created like a report based on it in collaboration with this agency called Swan. So Swan is basically like a agency for migrant workers. So that is how we provide a lot of support throughout. The final thing that I want to show you, Srijoni, before we wrap up this session today for you is, in terms of your preparation, you will be accessing a very robust e-learning platform. What is this e-learning platform? It will help you to prepare in a very systematic manner for all the entrance exams, the interviews, focusing on all the essential elements of knowledge, practice, and preparation. So I'll just quickly show this to you. If I may know, Srijoni, how before the TISNET this year, did you self-study? Like, how did you go about your preparation?
Sir, I thought it would be a good thing to brush up on the ML Agarwal topics, the
Right,
basics
right,
that we
right.
covered in class 8, but
Yeah,
turns out that's not how you solve the point section.
yeah, yeah.
English, I didn't really, do much about English because, to be honest, I was confident about that.
Right.
And as far as GK is concerned, I looked up. Just month-wise, I looked up stuff.
Okay, okay,
So
very well.
that's about it. And I
Right.
took mock tests. I don't
That's
know
good.
how relevant they are, but I took
Right,
mock
right, right.
tests.
So I'll help you understand. In Catalyst, what we do, we give you a series of mock tests pertaining to the exact pattern, the type of questions that you are asked in the exam. You will also find great deal of resources in terms of your readings, starting with politics, aspects of Indian constitution, forms of government, acts, policy scheme, and primer. So all of these add up to the entire training pattern, Srijoni, if you can see that. We also give you a very strong understanding about current affairs, because as you know, both static as well as current affairs are part of your 40 marks of GK now. On top of it, there is a 35% cutoff, which they had started from this year.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how things are. So this is exactly how all the material, the resources will be given to you. You will see a lot of language ability tests, knowledge maps, which is also very important. So what is a knowledge map? Suppose we spoke about Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. If I open this act for you, let me show this to you. Yeah. So you will see that instead of giving you an entire note on Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, we give you what we call a knowledge map,
Flow chart.
a chart,
Yes, sir.
exactly. That helps you to remember the key points much better. Okay, so this is how the part of your support for your material is given. I take up major part of the mathematics, a lot of a part of GK. Students, they usually see a great deal of change in the entire ability of maths. We realize that mathematics is the handicap zone for most of us, so we focus a lot on strengthening that. Once you strengthen maths, life becomes much more simpler for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And maths is just not confined, Srijoni, with your entrance exam. When you start your subjects at TIS, even in research, quantitative methods will be required to a great extent. Final thing I wanted to show you just before we wrap up the session. I know it's becoming late for you also, but I'll just kind of show this to you. In terms of what we call a digital library, you get access, and this is something which we literally refer to as our gold mine, a vast expanse of readings, as you can see on screen, across specific sectors. If you see, globalization labor is also there here. And let me show you even like regulatory governance. Specific readings towards regulatory governance. And these readings have been collected across our alumni who have studied at TIS, and they actually help us curate the exact material. So even in, you will find a lot of these pre-interview test papers, as you can see now. This is regulatory governance. They ask you these questions. Can local government authorities ensure better food safety practices? Are water resource regulatory authorities in Indian states successful? And they ask you to write on it. So we make you practice these points, Srijoni, throughout our course. Okay. So this is a access that you get right from the beginning. What is the good thing? It's not that you have to study everything. But when you explore the readings, you also understand how the courses will be.
Right.
So the exact point that, when you said that, you're not sure whether public policy will be good for you, how the course will be, all of that will be answered when you start accessing these resources. And the final thing, again, with our digital library, you will also get a lot of study material. So be it quantitative aptitude, I'll show you. Very, very intuitive, very, very carefully researched and created material, keeping in mind the importance of the topics, keeping in mind the usual pattern of questions. So R.S. Agarwal, ML Agarwal, whatever you follow, if you focus on the way these material are laid out, it will optimize your preparation much better. Even when it comes to the online classes, each class that we do, Srijoni, after the class, you get access to the entire material immediately on this folder. So that gives you a very clear format of reviewing. And we also believe a lot on feedback. Okay, so that is how things are. In fact, I'll just show you, we use this e-learning platform called Zoho Showtime, under which our sessions are created. And in fact, I want to share with you a couple of past sessions so that you also get a feel of how things are done. So say for example, if I give you, if you can just tell me your email ID once more, Srijoni, that would be really helpful. I can type it down.
Sir, yeah, Srijani, I mean, my name,
SRIJONI
SRIJONI dot BANERJEE,
dot Banerjee
yes, sir, 89
89.
@gmail.com.
Great. So it is SRIJONI dot Banerjee 89 @gmail.com, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm sharing a recording of an actual class with you right away, so that you also get a feel of how things are done. I'm also sharing. Sorry. Just a minute. Srijoni.banerjee 89 @gmail. So you will find these links to the recordings in your email, and you can always check them and let me know. So that is exactly what Srijoni, I wanted to discuss and share with you. And I hope I've been able to help you understand a couple of things better. What I would suggest to you, Srijoni, is right now, do not worry too much about what course you want to apply, but focus extensively on strengthening what is required to secure a very good score coming year. Don't settle for less. I shared with you the story of Nayanika.
Say that's just for kids, but
No, not just for TIS,
yeah,
for all other
but then I won't
institutions.
be able to. But I won't be able to apply to a lot of places because of my undergrad schools.
Because of your,
Undergrad schools.
why?
Because I think after entrance exam, they consider the undergrad scores more
No,
in the
no.
interview.
TIS does not consider.
TIS and Azim Premji doesn't.
Azim Premji
But
doesn't consider. Azim Premji doesn't
IIT does, right?
consider. IITs do. Nirmala Niketan doesn't consider. Delhi,
And
Delhi School of Social Work considers 45%.
that's, I have that.
Right. National Law School University doesn't consider that.
Oh, National Law School doesn't. I thought it
No.
does.
Kardvi Institute Pune doesn't consider. Okay.
JNU does, right?
JNU does 50%. Madras School of Social Work doesn't consider.
Wow.
Okay. You have 7 already very strong options.
Yeah. I mean, I was more concerned about the NLS Bangalore and Azim Premji, but
Yes,
they
of
don't.
course.
So I
They
get that.
don't. They don't. Did you appear for Azim Premji this year?
No, because after the entrance got over, I figured out about the public policy syllabus and how I can also
I'm
study
telling
that.
you, Azim Premji University is also doing an excellent job, because they are under the Wipro umbrella, right? They are under Azim Premji
Yeah, I
Foundation.
heard. Yeah.
They are doing some excellent job, because we work very closely with them.
Okay.
In fact, I'll show you some. I'll share some maybe stories with you over WhatsApp about Azim Premji University faculties. They actually conduct sessions at Catalyst, like someone like uh, Porag from public policy, from actual development studies. We have had sessions by Dr. Pooja Guha from development. We have had sessions from public policy faculties. They are placing students very, very well. So I think it's
And
worth
sir, about abroad application.
abroad applications. Again, I'm telling you, if you don't have 50%, there are two ways to go about it. One is to gain work experience.
Yes.
Okay. The other option is, I'm telling you again, lot of students, what they do is, they are doing a master's, say from a TIS or an NLSIU in India. And after that, they are going abroad for a diploma specialization in that course.
How does that help?
So it helps to, again, increase your exposure.
Okay.
Another very
It's a
important,
1-year course.
it's a 1-year program, yeah. But let me tell you also, Srijoni, someone like Soumya Gangopadhyay, I think you saw him in the Careers in Social Science post.
Yes,
Soumya, he is a public policy graduate from TIS Hyderabad. He has a background of English. I mean, again, like your background. Studied in Scottish Church College, okay. Soumya, in his second semester, he got through the Erasmus scholarship from TIS Hyderabad, Erasmus Plus scholarship.
Yeah.
And he got through the Sciences Po School of Public Affairs in Paris for a full 6-month, full semester of public policy exchange program.
Okay.
Shreya Kormokar, she studied geography at Loreto College, and she was pursuing water policy and governance. No, sorry, she was pursuing natural resource and governance at TIS Hyderabad. She got through a similar exchange program with University of Birmingham.
Okay.
Shreya now works with an international NGO called Foundation of Ecological Society.
Okay.
So you don't have to be worried always about that, whether you can go abroad or not. If you are at a place like TIS, you can actually get an opportunity for an exchange program and add that exposure during your master's too. And it carries immense weightage. So I'll tell you, both Soumya and Shreya, they bagged the highest placements in the batches. Foundation of Ecological Society, Soumya got placed with the Planning Commission of Andhra Pradesh, the Telangana State Development Authority. Now he's working with Harvard Business School, and he works closely with Niti Aayog.
Okay.
And if you want, Srijoni, I would love to connect you with Soumya, because he is also one of the mentors in Catalyst. And since you have interest in policy, and maybe you want to know more,
yes, sir.
He can be a great help to you. Also, since both of your undergrads fall under the same subject, I'm sure there can be something very interesting, that can be exchanged between both of you. Okay. Any questions, Srijoni, that you want to ask before we wrap up the session tonight?
No, that's about it.
Great. Thank you so much. So I think I've shared the details of the course, the training, the fees with your mother, and I can share that back with you on WhatsApp also. So I think it's very important that we take a call quickly. See, right now, what is the state of your college? It is locked down, right? Like you haven't, like your final exams are due.
Yeah, we have no clue when that will happen.
Right. So since we don't have clue, we can actually utilize this time, effectively to at least make a progress. And that can be done very diligently. Because see, when college starts off, be it August or September, they will not spare you anymore, because they will immediately put the exams, and you have to again start preparing for it. And it's your final exam, so you have to put up a good show, right? So till then, I think, because right now we have 2 lakh total cases, 1 lakh active cases, it's going to take time, before we can actually go to our schools and colleges any soon.
Yes, sir.
So let's be practical about it and utilize this time to the best possible extent. So I think on that note, I will finish the session today. Thank you so much for taking out your time.
Thank you,
And
sir.
stay in touch with me. I think I've pinged you on WhatsApp also.
Yes, sir.
So any clarification you require, feel free. We will also try to help you out, gain more clarity. Okay. And we look forward to start the training with you very soon. Right, Srijani?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Have a very good time ahead. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.